Hello, let's discuss our assignment that we did on yesterday and let's go into more detail about the Mauryan and Gupta empires. So, your PPO is student will be able to describe the Mauryan and Gupta empires in order to analyze the developments and accomplishments of Indian society to 500 CE AD. Mr. Deloach did an amazing video that I just kind of used to piggyback off of the assignment with the questions. So let's just jump right into it.
Civilization in modern day India, particularly along the Indus River and the Ganges River. Now we're moving forward a little bit in history, and we'll talk about the first two great empires in Indian history. Why these are significant is that these empires sort of gave India kind of an identity. So before the modern day nation of India, there was the Mauryan Empire, and this was started by a man named Chandra Maurya around.
Okay, so we are in India and we're going to go from the civilizations to the empires that in India. So it says around 320 BCE, a powerful leader named Chandra Maurya seized power in India. In 321 BCE, he seized power by killing the king and claiming his throne, beginning the Mauryan Empire. Maurya defeated a Macedonian general to gain control of a stretch of land 2000, that was 2,000 miles, uniting India for the first time. Another leader soon took his place, who would take the Mauryan Empire to new heights, and to the next level. And his name was Ascoya. All right, so question one reads, who seized India in 320 BCE? The correct answer you should have put was Chandra Maurya. When did the Mauryan Empire begin? Very easy, 321 BCE. Who did Maurya defeat in order to gain control of India? He defeated a Macedonian general. Who took the Mauryan Empire to new heights? The correct answer is Ascoya. Um, so we have answered question 1 through 5 just off of the first slide. Okay, let's move on.
320 BCE, 320 years before Christ, and he had the Mauryan Empire. And if you look in the map, India, Pakistan, really the man, the Ahsoka, is Ahsoka.
All right, so Ahsoka was the Mauryan king. This is an image of what he looked like. It just looked like a typical Indian person. Ascoya led in a similar way as Chandra had before him, mostly waging in war and battles. In one battle with a neighboring kingdom, he lost over 100,000 soldiers. Ascoya felt extremely guilty. After that, he began to study Buddhism, and then he decided to rule using the Buddhist idea that peace to all beings. Ascoya proved to be a great leader and greatly improved the conditions for his people. All right, so question 5 asks, why did Ascoya convert to being a Buddhist? The correct answer is because he lost over 100,000 of his soldiers. So he was really guilty about it. So that led him to becoming a Buddhist. What is he best known for? That is on the next slide. So let's move on.
This is a picture or an image. Great, kind of interesting about him, or fighting, battle, and forceful, and he was just sad after this event. And not only this out, he sends Buddhist missionaries leadership. All four is for religious.
All right. So Ascoya's actions once he becomes a Buddhist, he spreads Buddhism and sent out Buddhist missionaries to different parts of India so that everyone could convert to becoming a Buddhist. He erected stone pillars with his policies. He also urged religious tolerance meaning being acceptance being having acceptance for any type of religion. He also built extensive roads that stretched across the empire. He employed officials to look out for his subjects' welfare, meaning make sure of their um they were safe and they were doing the right thing. Okay. So number 6 is, what is Ascolia best known for? It could have been a variety of options on from this slide, but I want you to know that he urged religious tolerance. Either I'll accept either urge religious tolerance or that he spread Buddhism across India. Either two of those options will be acceptable for number 6. Okay. So let's move on to the Gupta Empire. Starting with number 1, it asks, what leader rose to power after the death of Ascoya? Let's see what Mr. Deloach has to say
Tolerance. In
about
other
that.
words, he believed India, we've talked about
Just
this
gonna skip
Hinduism and other
to
of
a part.
instability and chaos. The Gupta Empire was formed in what you see kind of like modern day northern India. So the Mauryan Empire sort of collapsed, lost territory, was disorganized. There was lots of chaos and instability. And then again, about 500 years later, the Gupta Empire was formed, um, and it was actually named after the man who formed the empire, Chandra Gupta. Obviously,
Okay, so it seems like that name Chandragupta was extremely popular because you have one who originally started India, then you have the death of Ascoya, then we go into the next ruler, and his name it was also Chandra Gupta as well. All right. So after Ascoya's death, there was a power loss in India. They had instability. So someone had to rise up. And that person who rose up to power so we're getting to number 1. What leader rose to power after the death of Ascoya? That leader was Chandragupta II, the second person. He came into power by marrying a daughter of an influential royal family. This gave birth to the Gupta Empire, which enhanced Indian civilization and Hindu culture. So you have number 1, what leader rose to power after the death of Ascoya? It was Chandragupta. 2, how did that leader rise to power? You should have put he married into a royal family, or he married the daughter of a famous royal family. Then we'll go on to number 3, what religions were practiced in the Gupta Empire? Let's go to the next slide that Mr. Deloach put up. Um, in the Gupta Empire, it emerged in northern India. It enjoyed a period of great cultural achievement known as the Golden Age. Both Hinduism and Buddhism were practiced. They established a strong central government, and they enjoyed major advancements in learning, medicine, architecture, literature, arts, and math. All right. So we are on should be for number 4, what religions were practiced in the Gupta Empire. You should have put Hinduism and Buddhism, or Buddhism and Hinduism. Doesn't matter in which order, just as long as you have those two. What major advancement did the Gupta Empire have? I was looking for learning, medicine, architecture, literature, arts, and math is what I was looking for. All right. And that's it. Mr. Deloach carried us out. So that is all for the Mauryan and the Gupta Empire. Very short, sweet, and simple, and straightforward and to the point. You should have answered all of your questions, as well as have your documents submitted yesterday on Google Classroom. If your assignment is not complete, just consider that to be missing. I'm not going to accept any more late work, as I stated on yesterday, unless you were absent. Then I'll accept late work. But if you were in class and present, and I marked you present, then I'm not going to accept any late assignments. After 12, today and tomorrow, we don't have any more classes. just make sure you check Google Classroom to see if your teachers gave you any assignments for after 12 parent teacher conferences or today and tomorrow. If your parent needs a conference and they did not see my link on Remind, please, please, please email me, give me your parents' email address so that I can get them the information to have a successful parent teacher conference. Okay, so that concludes our sessions today, and I will see you guys on tomorrow.